Well, hello, you are welcome back to GMODISM, and we are building a super battleship in From the Depth. If you haven't subscribed already, you should definitely do so. This is the last thing we looked at, and well, I've started to add some lasers and stuff like that, and the armor is added, and I might update this armor later on. We'll see. I'll need to do some more conclusive tests, but it has come to my knowledge that wedges have some very specific uses, but that beam slopes might be better. But this armor is completely adapted for this type of kinetic damage in this stage, and I'm not sure which one I will use. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next iteration. And this iteration is obviously a saved file. And if I'm gonna be truthful here, I'm not actually really sure what has changed onto this iteration. Any case, here we have my AI compartment. So it's the same as the other one, and I have a side compartment here. Because you know what? I needed some extra stuff here. So this automated control block sets the decoys to 0, and this one sets the shields to 0 when there is no enemy around. And of course right now we don't have very many shields, but whatever. Then we also have a little setup that uses general PIDs to control roll pitch and altitude. And I have found out that unfortunately the general purpose PIDs, I think they're a little bit better and a little bit more reliable than the AI itself for ships, because it just feels like these general purpose PIDs, they're just deliver a little bit more results. I don't know, it might just be me. But that's how I set it up, and as you can see here, I don't know if these are new, but I added large 7-meter propeller. We have a 5-meter there, and of course these are using a lot of power to keep afloat, because do remember, we are not going to use water pumps on this build. Now, I have decided, yes, I will accept some submissions to battle this beast, whenever it is done, but I will give you the rules and outline for that next episode. In this episode we will not go through that, because I'll need to think a little bit on a few details first. Well, this is apparently different, and this is version 13, and maybe I was superstitious and didn't want to stay too long at version 13, so we're gonna move on to version 14. To defend against certain targets we need a pretty good LAM system. And I have started to build some LAM nodes that go through the entire ship like this, connecting up to different spaces. So I have the LAM nodes on both sides. This will be a right sider, so we will only have like actual LAM nodes on like the right side of the ship. But I have the LAM connections on both sides to add some redundancy, so that the entire laser network should not go down, even though a pinnacle LAM point was shot out. That's the plan anyways. So we have the little network there, it's going like that, pretty handy, and the first LAM node is even here, so we have a little thing that can help us get rid of some stuff coming from the front. Ooh, and I do believe we have some nicer looking turrets in the front here. Yes, we got my barrel elongated little cute cram cannon, it's nice, and a diff gun there, just to add some extra firepower and looks. And a new little LAM node on the side here to save our front from shots. I think that's that. We got some interior armor going down there. This is the battery. I think we already looked at that, but that battery is like, it's like really expensive. It's like 4 million. This battery is like 4 million. If we get shot there, it's gonna, yeah, it's not gonna be good if we get shot there. I think we showed that, by the way. I removed this interior armor, by the way. That stone metal checkerboard pattern, I think it has to go. You know, I'm gonna do some more conclusive tests on that in a future video, but right now I'm thinking it's probably not gonna be very efficient. In any case, you can probably see I've been doing some beautiful shapes here. I hope you notice the golden details, the colors of the AOG. And about the rules for the future battles, I will tell you this: anything that's more expensive than 2.2 million will be disqualified. It will not be accepted into the battle, and anything that uses a single water pump will also be completely disqualified, just so you know. Oh, look at this beautiful cast iron part. If you've seen the first and second video, you do know, you've seen my little sketch on how I wanted to make the front of this. And now you can see I have successfully managed to make the front that I was looking for. We have this little cast iron thing that kind of looks like some kind of mechanical replacement for a real bow. I don't know why, I just wanted to have this detail, and now we have it, so I'm happy. This, I'm gonna show you this. This is a little template I built. And you might say you shouldn't have the things, the shields so close to the surface with only one layer of heavy armor protecting them. Maybe not. But they're completely EMP insulated. So, no matter how much EMP someone uses, this shield layer, you can see I need to show you this. I think this is pretty amazing, by the way. So let's see here, shields. And then we have shield distance measuring stick. Look, I have actually made like measuring sticks so that I can measure the distance in between where I should place my shields. And I even did this thing. I did a diagonal measuring stick so I can know where to place the shields in relative to a slope, which we'll have on the ship. I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, and all my files are accessible to all the commissioned officers in the army of GMODISM, starting from $1 a month. If you also want to support the channel, that's something you'll get back. In any case, this is my ammo barrels. I'm very happy about this design here, because you can see it is actually not a complete layer of heavy armor, because I have found out that a cubic lot, how much cubics is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cubic meters of ammo can be stopped by some heavy armor, but we don't need full blocks. We can use half blocks like that and have some distance, and distance is a great way to make them not chain react. And we only need heavy armor on the side here. We don't need heavy armor on the sides, because they won't chain react like this far in between. What I've seen so far, at least. So, or I did test them with some pretty high ammo requirement units. So I'm pretty happy. Like this, we have an ammo compartment. It's completely protected beside the turret, because of course this side will be facing the enemy. And another little detail I have found out, you may notice I have a super weird pattern of some like square corners on the side of the hull here. And you might think this is just a cool detail, and it is not, because I have found out that this is a pretty cheap and helpful hedge protection. Because do you remember when a shell hits a surface, if the angle is acute, then like the shot will deal less damage. So this also gives us some texture on the front that makes it deal less damage to the Tetra, and that will have a very little effect on helping it not penetrate as deep into the rest of the armor, even though that effect doesn't actually carry through. The first angle doesn't carry through to the blocks afterwards but the thing that it didn't deal as effective damage to the first block will make it so that it goes deeper. So even though this is just a square corner, if it's hit at a really acute angle, the effective health of this block will be much higher, so it will help. But the real reason I put this here is actually against Hesh, because Hesh, the direction of the Hesh spalls is decided on what angle the Hesh shell hit the armor. So if I have a Hesh shell hitting this armor flat here, the Hesh spallings will go straight in and deal a lot of damage to all of these beautiful wedges, and some will even get through into the armor. But if the Hesh shells hit the angle here, it will actually direct its way down here, and it will deal more damage to the surface of the armor and not so much damage deeper into the armor. So having these weird angles in the surface, according to my small tests, makes it so that Hesh is a little less scary. And since the Tetras are so cheap, I thought that was really cool. Just a fun little thing. Oh, and I added the tall pipe organs. These turrets are completely insane. They're 200mm, reloads once every 80 seconds. I think their firepower per volume, now these are multi-barrel turrets, but I think their combined firepower per volume is actually pretty awesome. It's just the caveat that they shoot every 80 seconds. Not great, but each of these shots, they're kind of 40,000-ish, all of them. So it's a lot of health in all of these shots. They pack a punch. I'll give them that. They pack a punch. And they happen to be the perfect size to fit here beside the turrets here. So I think they look pretty cool there. I think we should have them there, and I think they might help dealing some damage, even though I'm not sure they will get through the Ragnarok's defenses. But alas, the Ragnarok is not the only ship we will need to beat. Because I heard that we want to beat the Turtle Lord, but Setup/E-Lord made another ship that unfortunately beats the Turtle Lord, which is called the Rhino, which I pitched against the Draconia, and now I need to make sure this ship beats that too. I don't know, this is gonna be crazy. We need to beat so many ships. And hopefully not miserably fail at beating all of them. So let's just keep trying and building. Hey, distraction! Look at how many cool details I put on this turret. The Arcuballista Invictus is beautiful, is it not? Like the video if you agree. Next iteration. I've continued to build on the armor. We have the beautiful details. You can see the ship is really taking shape here. I think it looks pretty nice. But that's just me. And I'm the builder of the ship, so that tells you absolutely nothing. In any case, what I have been doing is I've started to build on the diagonal armor. You can see here I added some of my templates there. Kind of the same type of armor, but up here. Some alloy, some stuff like that, and anti-kinetic armor, to be quite specific. I decided to have some kind of opening here, not sure what we're gonna have there, but we'll see. I have, in any case, started to build on this little back portion here. And I think that's pretty funny, because since this is in one of the extremities of the ship, it's not very likely to be shot, is it? It is not. Oh fuck. The plan was to make the ammo not be able to chain react anyways, because this area is very unlikely to get hit, and we needed some more ammo on this thing. So I put some here, and I'm gonna fix this so it doesn't chain react. Anyways, it's also very unlikely to get hit, this area. if I didn't tell you this. I already told you twice, but I'm telling you the third time to look less embarrassing. Thank you very much. GMODISM, that doesn't work. Your inner thoughts, you should keep them to yourself because you're making a public fool of yourself. Okay, never mind. Instead of making a public fool of myself, I'm gonna talk about the next point, which is, the diversion plan. These are the turrets. You know the turrets I just lined up on the last ship because I wanted to see my options, and then I removed them all? Well, I went through all of my turret folders again because I missed all of these. So I went through the folder and I spawned all the turrets that I might potentially want to have here. This is a heat hash spammer thing. This is of course the Vigoletta Marksman 5 that happens to fire the 67mm water bottle that I designed on my merch store. Check YouTube. Here we have a pretty efficient diff gun with 8 arms. This is another Vigoletta Corporation sniper, and yes, I make up corporation names that doesn't make any sense, and I do it only because I think it sounds cool. Let me do it, thank you. This is a deck gun, isn't it cute? It's also useless. This is a pack gun. This is a 3-lens pack turret, and it's actually much better than I thought, because this happens to be my first serious pack turret that I have ever designed. And it's pretty funny. I think I did it on a stream. If you're not following me, you should definitely check up on my streams on Twitch. They're all on Twitch, sorry, not YouTube, only Twitch. Follow me. So, it's 1 EMP, it's 1 piercing, and it's 1 impact. And the thought is that the impact one should shoot first, and then the other ones, oh god, never use this damn thing. I need to resave this blueprint. Anyways, the thought is that the impact pack shoots first, and like a millisecond later, the pierce pack shoots, and the next millisecond, the EMP pack shoots, and if we're really lucky, we could potentially like EMP crit something. Now, this turret is pretty decent, to be honest. I never seen what I described actually happen, but I'm praying that it will someday. Ooh, Azusa from our Discord, she suggested that I should probably have some kind of system that just uses a guided laser to kind of focus on the enemy where the laser is not focusing. So this thing focuses on the enemy where the laser is not, so that the enemy will always disperse all its like steam materials all the time, and not only where the actual damage laser shoot, because most people's like smoke dispenser system actually gives out some smoke when we shoot, or when we point a missile guidance laser on it. This is just a like kinetic missile, just because I thought that the Ragnarok has so good civs, and I again want the ship to beat it, so I thought that I should probably use some systems that just don't die. More cramps, you've seen this before in earlier videos. More cramps, you may have seen this too. This is the Stoner Cram Mortar, which you've seen before, will be used on it somehow. And this is the Bolter, which I hope I will be able to use, but I have started to get some doubts, because this boy isn't also extremely cool, only it's also very expensive and probably not worth it, but it sounds cool. Instead of worrying about what turrets I want to use, this is the next iteration. And I have continued to perfect some beautiful details and shaping of the hull. And this area we don't expect to receive much fire from here. So we have really thin armor here. And when I'm saying really thin armor, oh boy, I mean it. Because I have made the armor thinner on this side. So it's 1 layer of metal, 1 layer of wood, empty space, some alloy and some wood for floatiness. So I made this thing a lot thinner just because I wanted to save materials. No reason to have a darn spall catcher. Why do I need a spall catcher if we're not even gonna have heat missiles and heat shells and whatnot coming from this direction? So I just removed it. Saved some materials. Ain't I smart? Thank you, I am. I'm just kidding. We have some armor adding here, I don't know. We're gonna see what we're gonna do with the inside, but I'm starting to understand that the inside will be an empty void. Look, you know my hash reasoning before? I made the same thing with heavy armor to hopefully not make the laser die so fast. Well, I guess that's probably that, isn't it? Is it is there anything more to this iteration? I think there maybe not. But look how cleverly I have hidden these 3-meter propellers. Isn't it beautiful? I just feel that this ship, in its current state, would probably be pretty shredded by like super cavitation sandblasters. Anyways, no, scratch that. I'm not giving you any ideas on how to beat this thing. Shh. Oh, and this is the next iteration. Isn't that fantastic? Which is iteration 18. So, as you can see here in iteration 18, I forgot to cover the beautiful little donut, the golden donut on top of the white here. I'm very conflicted about this. But you can see we have a nice thick deck armor layer consisting of 1 meter of wood. Amazing. I think 16th century shipbuilders would be quite impressed with 1 meter of wood as armor. So let's just move on. But I think it looks pretty cool, and I started to add the golden details in terms of alloy here. So I have kind of decided that we're gonna have all the gold in alloy specifically, because I just found out that alloy gold looks much better than metal gold, doesn't it? Or I did find out that a little bit earlier, but as you can see, we have started to add these beautiful decorations, staircases and all that. And isn't this cast iron detail like little, I don't know, rännsten in English? Help me someone. And I even added some beautiful metal blocks like this to make it look smooth and everything. Applause, applause, thank you very much. Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of that for this. What did I do? Yeah, but in all honesty, we're gonna do some pretty thin deck armor, because honestly, who uses mortars? Well, I am, but not very many do use mortars. The Turtle Lord is, but other than that, nobody uses mortars. So I don't think I'll need to worry about them too much. So thus, according to my own planning and outline and reasoning, which you should probably look at in the first and second episode if you haven't watched that already, is that I should not armor where armored does not need to be. Doesn't this look pretty cool? I think it does. In any case, that's it for this iteration. I don't know why this is a lot cheaper, because I don't remember exactly what I removed, but if I haven't said this already, the laser has finally gotten a proper placement. One of the lasers will be placed here. It's off center, if you didn't notice that, because I want it to be a little bit asymmetrical, and it's encased in a little heavy armor sleeve, and it's standing on a little heavy armor sleeve itself, so it should be pretty sturdy. We're gonna add another one, by the way. Welcome to iteration 19. Observe the glory of the Gimli Super Battleship. Well, it's not done, of course, but as you can see, I have continued to shape the outline of the hull structure here. We have really thin armor on this side, very thin armor, thinner armor on this side. We have a beautiful wooden little support structure on the inside, and we have thick armor on this side, which I know you all in comments have been complaining about is too thin anyways, but I don't care, because I want to spend my materials on loads of firepower, because my personal belief is that the bigger gun wins. But we shall see. I might spectacularly lose, of course. In any case, look at this. I've added the thick little like slope to the top of it, and we are going to build a pretty big superstructure. So that is why I really want to make sure that the ship is like pretty bulky like this, having these big angles, because in the center of this, as you've probably seen from episode 1, I want to have a glorious superstructure, making us remember the broadsword. Also, a beautiful little golden encasement for the laser turret there, and stuff like that. I don't know if there is anything like important other than this. This is my new little blueprint thing, which encases a laser warner, a munition detector thing, and within that system here we have a completely EMP insulated smoke dispenser and a shield. So they can't be killed by the EMP. They're completely surrounded and embedded inside of here. So I thought that was pretty smart to have there. So it's basically the same as this, but it's with detection for both smoke and projectiles, and very, very handy. I'm thinking I should have some guns like here and there and there and there, but we shall see exactly how they will look like. In any case, this side is of course empty and boring. I think we should probably have a lot of text there. Well, in any case, let's move on. Look at these beautiful cast iron details below the water. I just love mixing stuff like this, making stuff looks like other materials. Like we have actual like brass, gilded brass, and we have like cast iron, and we have painted steel plates. I don't know, just my imagination. But this is the iteration 20, and again I did some detail fix whatever, not exactly sure what changed from version 9. Oh yes, there it is. So I have finally decided what to do it with one of the outputs. This, my ladies and gentlemen, is a laser. So, since the Draconia had the problem where the laser died, we're gonna have a laser turret here, but we're also gonna have a laser turret here later. But on top of that, we are going to have a whole fixed extra laser output mounted onto the side of the turret, completely EMP insulated and everything. Isn't that quite beautiful? This little arm connects up with heavy armor and has insulated pads with rubber, connects it up to the laser system, and will be able to completely fry enemies as long as we can maneuver and keep them at the right side. So we have an extra laser output. Isn't that very, very smart? I think it is, because the Draconia died every time its laser died, but when its laser didn't die, the Draconia didn't die. And now we're going to look at the last iteration for this episode, but before that I just want to thank the seagulls for keeping me company. Oh, and you for watching the video and liking it, of course. Also subscribe if you haven't. In any case, I'm just kidding. Thanks a lot for watching, like seriously. Special thanks to the commissioned officers in the army of GMODISM, of course. Special extra thanks to all of you, which is Admiral Super Dave, Captain Y, both new big supporter. Isn't this kind of amazing? Our largest supporters of the channel did join the commissioned officers, pretty close to each other. Like in terms of time. So I think that's pretty cool. So thanks a lot and super welcome Admiral Super Dave and Captain Y to the Commissioned Officers board. We have a special Discord, by the way, for all the commissioned officers, or we don't have a special Discord, we have a special channel in the GMODIST Discord, which is free for everyone, which you should join, I can't speak, if you haven't already, because it's there are some pretty cool people there, and there is always someone to ask if you wonder anything within From the Depth, and we have some really good members that really knows a lot that can answer. In any case, let's continue. Commander Ike the Boater, Commander Aegean, and our lieutenants Asteria, C2, Powered by Greed, Tyler Russ, and Vincent Veritas. We also have our cadets Robert, Shark93, and Marty McBacon. Thanks a lot for supporting the channel. So we've been watching this build in the meantime, and that just takes forever. So let's just spawn it in here. Here we have it, Forever 21. Just kidding. This is the 21st iteration of the ship. Do you like pause time? Can you notice this beautiful shield detail I have designed? It kind of looks weird, but also not. You can see the angle is actually straight. It just looks like it's pointing upwards. Isn't this shape very beautiful? I'm extremely proud of this shield shape. In any case, look at the decorations. Isn't that nice? And we have a little turret sticking out here. The cram turret you saw earlier. Pretty powerful thing sticking out here, helping us with some firepower. We have railings, beautiful railings. We have inserted the Stoner cram mortar. I have realized that I will not be able to fit 6 of these as intended, so I will suffice with 1 of them for the meantime, and we'll see if it does anything. What I do know is that we can't fit another turret here that's sensible, so we're gonna have the Stoner here. Hidden in this little box here, we had to cut out some ammo, but whatever. The Stoner is here, and well, now I am lost. Better. No. Oh my god. Anyways, the Stoner is here, and well, from the depth camera you can't get used to it. So I hope it will provide some help with getting through harsh labs, but we'll never know. We're probably not gonna have more than 1, except if we have to. But you can see it's like clearly taking shape here. We have some stuff going on here and there. We have some... we don't have any new details here. The shield was like my main achievement, but of course, as you've noticed, we have the second laser turret in place. It is also a little bit off-center, but in the other direction, to kind of give some nice little organic feeling to the thing. So we have a second completely, not independent, but a laser output that's connected up to the same big laser system. I think that's pretty cool, having several lasers connected up to the different systems. And I've started to expand the laser here. Here you can see I actually have a little laser compartment down here to provide some help. I think that's a charge laser, by the way. It's like a Q1. So we have a Q0 laser, and we're gonna mix in some Q1 pulses there to really drill into the enemy. I have also inserted a little extra AI core, and this way to use the rubber tetras to kind of make it so that we can look inside the AI without needing to like tear everything apart. I think I learned that from Bell Kent in our Discord. A reason you should join, you can ask some people there. You can see it may look like we have connection to heavy armor, but we don't. We're completely insulated via rubber. Isn't that quite cool? And we can still access the extra AI targeter. So the purpose of this AI is to provide an extra targeting point, and I'm gonna connect up things so that we can utilize that targeting point. Yes, indeed. And there we have it, the last iteration of the ship. I really hope you enjoy this process. If you haven't already, please watch the first and the second episode. I don't know why, but it felt a little bit like the first episode was kind of a flop, but maybe that's just because I did a very strange and boring super manual PowerPoint session from like the 30s, where we didn't have PowerPoints but only like papers explaining what I'm about to do. Or, as I'm hoping it was because everyone was surprised and didn't really catch that we have a new super battleship, like, or not super, superior battleship project building going on. So in any case, please check out the earlier episodes too and see if you can really recognize the shapes here. In any case, if you want to support the channel, you can of course go to gmodism.com/support and you'll have all the options there. Hint hint, a lot of the supporting things is actually mostly about, you know, commenting and liking videos and stuff. That does help me with the algorithm because, of course, I don't know if borderwise is right, but I'm starting to wonder if there has been a decline in viewership from the depth. And I don't know why that would be, because the player base hasn't gone down. Who knows? Maybe it's just YouTube being weird in general. In any case, thanks a lot for all who are being dedicated to the channel, watching the videos. I can't speak. Watching the videos and even supporting the channels in like other ways, using Patreon, commissioned officers, that is, or anything like that. It really helps me a lot. So thank you, all of you who are supporting the channel or liking or viewing in any capacity, way, shape or form. I'll see you next time. This is your host GMODISM, and if you don't like the video, I might not return with another video. God, that's just baiting. Any case, see you next time. GMODISM signing out. Bye.